Readings indicate that this is connected to a rather sophisticated projection system. I cannot get more detailed data. An energy field is interfering with the tricorder. This device transforms its internal energy into useful quantities for other portable devices. The transfer takes place at the small outlet junction located near the center of the unit.
So what is that in English, you pointed-eared confusion factory?
In English, it remains exactly as I said. However, for those unskilled in the language, this is a battery charger.
For once, why can't you just come up with a simple explanation first?
It's not always necessary, Doctor. You are not always around.
What is it with you two? You're like children. I'm getting tired of it. Why am I snapping at you?
The energy generated from inside this unit is definitely causing the problems in communicating with the Enterprise. It will undoubtedly block any attempt at transporter lock-on also. Captain, this appears to be a mass storage device. The tricorder cannot tell what information it holds. My tricorder detects nothing unusual. I suggest using Dr. McCoy's tricorder instead. This generator may be providing power for more than just this complex. It is broadcasting power, which is causing the interference in communications with the Enterprise. I cannot tell for certain if there are receiving units for this power, because some of the readout circuits are damaged. Fascinating.
What is fascinating this time, Spock? I doubt it's fascinating to either Bones or myself, but I'm sure that won't stop you from telling us. What is fascinating this time, Spock?
You tell him, Jim. I'm getting sick of this alien smarter-than-thou attitude.
If either of you had an ounce of logic, you would be more prepared to listen to my information, and possibly even understand it.
Bordering on insubordination, aren't we, Mr. Spock?
I always knew that no emotion garbage was just a cover. He thinks he should be in charge.
Mr. Spock, I'll have those findings from you right now.
Captain, it appears the circuit was deliberately damaged. This would only be possible if the force field were down. Who would damage their own machinery? And for what purpose?
More and more curious, Mr. Spock.
Also, Captain, I am able to determine that if power is interrupted rather than shut down from the console, it will send a signal to the discharge unit and release the bacteria into the atmosphere. Captain, the remaining force field is already down. Captain, this is the life support control unit. Captain, this is the life support control unit. Readings indicate that these units are processing waste products into inert compounds. Fascinating. This device siphons material from the other unit by way of the pipe overhead. It possesses the ability to move a substantial amount of material. Most interesting is that the material can be jettisoned up out of these caves into the ecosystem of the planet. It may be that the material in the vat is dangerous, and the builders wished to protect this complex from contamination.
But they didn't care about the planet, did they?
Apparently not the primary concern.
Tell that to the Balcos.
According to the studies from the Demeter, the Balcosi would not recognize speech.
I believe Bones was speaking figuratively, Spock.
There is presently no means by which to shut off this release. The unit is set to discharge, and the control switch has been removed.
Removed? Could it be the builders were not afraid the complex would be contaminated, but were instead afraid the ecosystem would be in trouble if the contents of the vat were not discharged?
Interesting hypothesis, Captain. Difficult to do more than speculate at this time.
A discharge unit set to eject material siphoned through sealing pipes into the planet's ecosystem.
This is a food-producing unit, Captain. There's a fast-growing bacteria inside. The bacteria is continually being harvested, and units of food are being produced and carried elsewhere by that large pipe. The small pipe next to it carries the byproducts.
That seems simple enough.
There's much more, Captain.
Well, I'm surprised.
Any breaks in any of the pipes will send a release signal to the discharge unit, as will interruption of power to the food-producing unit. Any tampering will send the bacteria into the atmosphere. Assuming the appropriate signal is received, this unit can be shut down safely. The shutdown signal does not originate here.
It looks like a bunch of grapes.
It continues to be a door. Even with the doorway leading out, the air seems thick and the room feels confining. Kirk is starting to feel downright hostile. Looks like a Balcosian described by the data files from the Demeter. Spock stares back.
What are you looking at?
Well, maybe we'll see a Balcosian here.
They look peaceful enough, Jim.
We should be able to gain valuable data studying the Balcosi. Internal structure hidden by force field effects. The uncovered areas consist of a pair of unknown vents and a solid inclined drop chute. Captain, I will attempt to restrain the Balcosian when he stops to eat. The nerve bundle seemed quite thick. My assumption is that the Balcosian is unharmed, but will remain unconscious for a considerable time. My tricorder detects nothing unusual. I suggest using Dr. McCoy's tricorder instead.
Jim, the Demeter scans noted a medical examination room next door, and I'd like to take this Balcosian there and check him out. I want to see what that gas is doing to him.
Not a bad idea, Bones.